communication difficulties. So, many couples struggle with communication, often claiming that they speak different languages. Yet failure to communicate can lead a once close couple to begin operating in completely different spheres, living more like roommates than partners. Over time, you will begin to feel isolated and lonely and might seek emotional intimacy elsewhere. Lack of communication can also lead to contempt or the tendency for every meaningful experience to devolve into sarcasm and belittling rather than healthy resolution. I've got something to say about this. So, an issue that I personally have found, and I've noticed a lot of men say, is like not feeling seen in relationships. Like that's been like a really big one. So like talking about communication, it's the amount of times I have been with people where I feel like I'm saying things, but they don't really hear what I'm saying and they don't really get me. Or it's like it's impossible to actually get through to them. And fundamentally, it's like I'm here, they're there, and there's like kind of like a wall between us. And that wall refuses to be broken. Now, from my perspective, it always felt like that wall was their fault. I'm not saying it was, right? But I'm saying it always felt like it was. It always felt like I was trying. Maybe I was, he knows, maybe I got blind spots, but it always felt like I was trying and they're like stonewalling. And there you go. And yeah, I would say communication is a big one, especially for most men that I am aware of. How about you?
Okay.
Oh, you got something to say. That's interesting. That okay tells me you got something to say. Hit me.
Yeah, okay. So basically, when I first came to UK and I tried to date it, to date.
You tried to date it? You tried to date the whole UK? What?
No! I tried to date. My English was not good.
Oh.
I mean, maybe you remember as well.
That's why I laughed when they said speak in different languages.
Yeah. So, yes, it can be a problem, but I think it's not as big as trust and cheating, because if both people are aware and they have the patience to work on it, and also like when I tell you something, to make sure does she mean what she says, since you know that English is not my first language.
But there's two things though. So you're talking about literally not understanding someone. Like I said, go over there, and you weren't quite sure what I meant. But this is talking about, let's say, I need something in order to feel seen and appreciated, and I'm trying to communicate it to you, but you don't really get it because you don't give a shit.
Again, I believe that this doesn't come from communication. I think the root of the problem is how much open these people are and how much willing to say their needs. Am I saying correctly? I mean,
Yeah,
I think you get me. It's not about what you communicate. It's about how open you are to explain.
I need something to make me feel safe and secure. What do I need? I need to go and watch football with my friends on a Saturday. I really need that.
Yeah.
So I can say to you, I'm going to go and watch football with the guys on Saturday.
Okay. And if I say, no, Kieren, we had say that we're going for breakfast and then we go, I don't know, to theater or something. Like, it's not about to communicate what you're going to do. It's to explain me. Like, I know, I'm so sorry. I'm going to make it up. I really need this moment because I don't know. I had a very busy week, whatever. And this will release my stress. You know, to explain. And to make
explain.
To explain. And to make sure that the person doesn't feel rejected. So it takes a lot of empathy as well. To understand how your partner potentially feel and to fill this gap. And of course, afterwards, do something to make it up.
Most people don't know how to explain what they really want. And most people don't really listen when other people are explaining what they want. That's how I feel.
Do you know what was a big moment for me? When I was apologizing to somebody and he couldn't get my apology because he needs something different. And he had apologized to me And for me, it didn't mean anything because I felt like he kept doing it. And then we found out that apology works different for each person.
Mm.
So, okay, for some people, apology means I apologize to you and I make it up. For other people, it means that I apologize to you and I make sure I don't do it again.
Mm.
I don't remember exactly the categories, but when I found out this, it was a great barrier that broke in order to communicate better with this person.
Mm.
So one big thing I think is also to be able to be happy to grow and see what's really wrong. Because how can I say? I don't think the communication is the problem. The root of the problem are other things. Unless the person doesn't talk, that's a different story.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. But I think when they say communication, I think at the core, they're basically talking about what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's my opinion anyway, which kind of reminds me. So I was with someone who on paper was a fantastic girlfriend, like on paper. But her, like, people talk about love languages now, which is something I've only heard in like the past 3 or 4 years. But like, oh, my love language is this and my love language is that, whatever, like physical touch and acts of service and all that madness. Well, her love language was to do nice things for me, or things that she thought
Acts of service.
I guess, yeah. But so her love language was to perform acts of service, fine. But number one, acts of service isn't really my love language. And number two, if I am going to receive acts of service, I would prefer different acts of service.
But what people get wrong about love languages is I have my love language, you have yours. When I try to speak to you, I'm not going to use my love language. I'm going to use yours.
Well, she was using hers, and that's my problem.
That's a problem. That's a problem there. Because if you had told her, probably you didn't because it's old and this concept wasn't so famous back then. But if you had told her, my love language is words of affirmation. And you knew that her love language is acts of service. This is how she shows her love. Then you should make breakfast for her, which I'm sure you didn't. Did you?
Twice.
Yeah. Yeah. And she should tell you, I don't know, how much amazing you are. I don't know, some words of affirmation.
When I think, did I outwardly say to her, this is my love language, this is what I want? I don't think I did. Did I give her enough to know what I did, like what I wanted? Yes. Did she do it? No. But now you mention it, I didn't give her love languages either, because everything she did for me was what she wanted. So all of these like acts of service and stuff, and I've made you breakfast, she made me breakfast all the time, and
she brought you food at work.
Yeah, which was really nice at first because the previous girlfriend did nothing like that. Like, oh my God, she actually cares. But it's fundamentally not a love language. But the point is, I didn't do the stuff that she wanted either. So, yeah. Which brings, go on.
And it's not about, no, I don't want to hit you.
School me.
It's not about judging the people. Like, I want to make clear that what we say here about people in our past, we don't judge them. We may have some realizations while we're talking. Because I don't know how it may sound. But even when I talk about my past experiences, I'm not judging anyone. But I have realizations while we're talking.
Understood. Yeah. Understood.
Just want to make clear.
Clear. Crystal clear.